Well, good morning again, everybody. And again, thank you for joining us for the first and what promises to be a very beneficial webcast series presented by the very intelligent individuals here at Neudesic. And at this time, you should all be able to see the Neudesic opening slide that says Neudesic User Experience Design Webinar 101, what it is, what it does, and what's in it for you. Presented by Gordon Montgomery, who's our practice manager for National User Experience Design Group. So please, if you can all see that, indicate with your feedback button, make sure that that is turned green. If you're having some difficulty, change your color to red. The feedback icon is located in the upper right-hand corner next to the feedback button as well as the question button. All right. Looks like everybody can see the presentation, and we're going to go ahead and get started. And again, thank you all for joining us. As you can see, we're here for the UX Design Webinar 101. My name is Dion Mishler. I'm the Inside Sales Representative for Neudesic and the mediator for the webcast. And then the webcast, again, will be presented by Gordon Montgomery. He's our Neudesic's practice manager for the UX Design Group. And before the webcast begins, we're going to walk through some of the logistics. If you're logged in, you should all see the opening slide, Design Webinar 101. Please note the phone lines will be muted during this presentation, but we definitely encourage you to ask questions throughout the session. You can type them in. And like all things Microsoft, there's a toolbar up on the left, and it says Content, and there's also a Q&A drop-down there. Please click on that. You're going to type in your question and click Ask. All questions will be held and answered at the end of the presentation. And again, we're also going to be using the feedback drop-down icon that I had mentioned earlier. They're located in the upper right-hand side. And changing your color changing your state color within this feedback drop-down provides feedback to the presenters on the pace of the webcast, if you have questions, things of that nature. So if you do have a question or if you are in need of some assistance, please change that drop-down accordingly. And if we're ready to begin, if you could all please make sure again that you are highlighted green, we'll begin. And without further ado, I would like to send this webcast over to Gordon for the presentation. Gordon?
Well, good afternoon. I'm going to report on the country that you're actually in. Welcome to our UX 101 webinar. So I want to be respectful of everybody's time, and I'm going to move through this presentation fairly rapidly. I'd like to say a quick brief hello to the Austin group, who I believe have actually seen part of this before in our actual face-to-face meeting in Austin, Texas, and we actually plan a road show going around the country, so that might be one follow-up that you folks would like to get some more, kind of personal information related to user experience design, the basics upwards. So let me, without further ado, move forward. Just making sure that everybody's slide deck moves forward correctly. Please send your feedback through, and we'll take care of that. If you're having any audio or visual problems, I'll just keep moving. So we'll go through a little quick introduction to UX and myself, what user experience design is, how it fits into the world of business today, what it actually feels like to do good user experience design, how we do it step by step, and then a customer at the end. So first, some introductions. Who are we, in fact? We are Neudesic. We're based in 11 offices around the nation, and the National Design Center here is based in Austin, Texas. We actually serve all of those geographies, in fact, internationally as well. We've actually done that for quite a few customers, and there's a little sample there of some of the folks we've worked with, and we feel we can do it to a fairly high degree of quality, as judged here by CRN Inc. and TechEd. Just moving forward here. So who am I? Who is this guy? My name is Gordon Montgomery, and I run the National User Experience Design Group here, as I say, in Austin, Texas. I'm actually Irish, so I had a quite good day yesterday, and hence the accent. About 15 years experience working to ensure that technology actually works for humans, and that's based both on an initial degree and a master's degree in software engineering. I actually founded my own consultancy before joining Neudesic, and I have a little bit of a blog that I post on periodically online, as well as on some of the Microsoft blogs. And I have my own range of clients that I've worked with in the past as well, so from international right down to kind of local size. So, what is user experience design? Well, one answer is it's just simple systems for humans, making sure that people can actually use the software that we build for them. That's applications, websites, or other systems. A little more in-depth answer to that question might be that we actually take our UX strategy and break it out into a number of sub-disciplines in order to deliver the value that our clients expect. So that really goes through a range of steps. We've broken it down to about 4 basic buckets that we look at. User research to start working out what users actually do. Information architecture to kind of blueprint that visually. Visual design, which layers on the look and feel, the graphics, and the typography, those sort of aspects. And then design technology, which actually codes the final solution. User research itself has a number of different methodologies. It doesn't have to be one huge activity, and we can do everything from sort of paper prototyping right the way through to more full-scale interactive prototypes. And the value at the end of the day is that we as a group and the company as a whole understand the users of the system that we're developing. And we actually document our user research as cleanly and as clearly as possible so that everyone can actually pick up those deliverables and understand what users are actually saying to us. And I'll touch on these in a little bit more detail. I just want to give you a high level of how we talk about the aspects of user experience design. Information architecture is really core to what we do. It's a central architecture, the central blueprints of defining and modeling what we're actually building in terms of software applications and also websites. And again, we have a documentation to actually show that. So then the visual design, that's what everybody ends up seeing, obviously. The colors, the symbols, the kind of typography, everything that talks about the emotive aspect and the aesthetic aspect of designing a compelling UI. And a couple of examples there, both of applications and of websites that we've built. I don't know if any of you have seen the Apple ad on TV that shows Kelly Blue Book. Actually, we were responsible in developing that piece of software that they demonstrate on the iPhone. So we do everything from mobile right up through applications to websites. So what we do is really designing for the user's experience. We don't design the experience. The experience is actually something that belongs to the user. We design the context that user can actually interact with the software and with the applications we develop. And that breaks down into 5 different areas. And just a quick summary based on So that, in summary, is how we approach user experience design, thinking out an overall strategy, planning user research so we actually include the user in the process, documenting that through information architecture, and then building it out into something with real value and real sizzle, to be honest, at the end of the day. So not only does it work well, but it looks good also. Typically what we're delivering is a design specification, but we will build that out into code, as is shown here by our overall stack. This shouldn't be too surprising to many of you. The stack is really the way we lay out our project process, and any of those boxes really can represent an activity or an entire project. Typically we like to at least address each of the boxes through the steps of assess, envision, design, and implement. So as we move through that typical process, using our Scrum Agile methodology, we can actually pick pieces that are most appropriate to each project. So it's not necessary to follow every single step along the way within that user experience stack. So our designs that we create end up in the world somewhere. So I thought I'd talk just briefly about some of the statistics and some of the kind of quotes that are out there in the industry today to kind of give us a little bit additional context. and you can all hopefully read through the slide here, but fundamentally what we're looking at is 80% of what we build in the industry of information technology really is either rarely used or not used at all. In fact, I had an experience recently with a mortgage application that had 90 screens, of which on average about 2.5 were actually used. So it can be quite dramatic, and that's why we find user experience design really gives an incredible advantage, not only in your productivity of your internal software, but in the adoption and the ease of use of public-facing software and websites as well. So, there are a lot of numbers out there that we can quote. Ultimately, the point is that there's a huge ratio between the amount of spend in creative products and how useful those actually are at the end of the day. And this deck will be available afterwards, so you can read those quotes at your leisure via PDF file a little bit later. So the average